I mean, as Emil just said, for them to revert back to kind of playing something, you know, circa 6 to 9 months ago, right? And a real comfort zone pick. This for me, this is a big one. I'm not saying Toronto underperformed. I think actually in terms of damage control and kind of keeping him honest in the previous map, FNATIC did very well there, but this statistically is Toronto's pop-off map. Now with a slight composition surprise on my part at least, how much playtime previously they're going to be able to build around that, I don't know, honestly.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. It's time to head into game now, Pansy and Hypok, over to you.
Yeah, and that composition, I mean, I was having a little look at Oxygen's previous kind of pickups here, what the compositions have looked like. That Reyna has been played before, but it's not necessarily a mainstay. So this might be an adjustment that they feel is vital for this matchup. As said, yes, it has been played a couple of times, but it's not their main selection. They normally go a little bit closer towards what actually FNATIC chose here. So this, again, is small adjustments, but we have to see how comfortable they look. This is, of course, map 2. FNATIC claiming map 1, they come in towards with the advantage. So it's time to get into map 2 here. Oxygen need to stabilize if they want to go forward and open up the potential for map 3. So FNATIC, of course, in the lead here, but this is a map you want to keep your eyes on Toronto. He was a little quiet in map 1. Map 2, he's got to come alive, and it will be, of course, on the attack FNATIC and Oxygen on the defensive side.
And once again, we're going to stack up for the pistol round. It looks like we might get a pretty quick hit here, but Mutez close enough to greet them, or at least catch all of this information off the audio. The drone going to follow through, and that's going to bring the rotation out from Oxygen. Does manage to escape, and keeping 5 alive in this scenario, very, very important. Now, already going to get set up. Magnum throws down the nano swarms, and we're going to plant right inside them.
Yeah, hold up. Gloves just found 2 out of nowhere. And look at Toronto, just happy to aggress even further. The man's confident. But now keep your eyes towards Magnum and Boaster. The last 2 alive, and they're in a deeper position. No kind of, cheeky flanks coming in. Both positions noted, and Toronto going to get off to a belting start. And there's the shutdown. Oxygen bounding right back in here.
Really nice. Like I said, just that 3-second adjustment where it's like, right, back up, give us time to come in, we get numbers and play the trades. And it looked really, really good there. Glove actually finding 2 kills before FNATIC have even got that plant in and been able to reset. And actually Doma, unfortunately, he gets caught out, right? He's got his wall down here, and I mean, you called it, Toronto are able to just hop up and find it before they can lean back, get into that kind of that comfort zone all the way back under nest.
I mean, Doma was kind of the canary in the coal mine, right? It was like, just put him there and you know what, if he gets contact, but he just, again, with that many players kind of already being removed around him, just opening up that chance for the hop up over, it's tricky for him to stay alive. But round 2, looking at the buy coming in from FNATIC, it's not small, it's a fair investment. We have the SMGs coming out and about. Doma a little quieter, but utility is rife, so keep that in mind. Of course, yes, it's just a sheriff, but plenty more around that. Let's see what FNATIC do with this. A little bit more of a lean towards kind of taking the B control, long being worked on, but mid certainly not ignored, maybe keeping in mind that there could be a little bit of aggression coming out from Oxygen, or simply that maybe they want to find information through that avenue.
Glove actually gonna something out of mid. Now actually, FNATIC gonna try and block off some of these sidelines. Glove might actually get caught out here. He actually double dips. He will find the kill onto Durka, and that's blood in favor of Oxygen. I think now actually going to hit the brakes as I say that. Actually, Magnum will peek onto yellow. Another kill comes through for Zistu, holding down yellow. Actually, Mystic is vulnerable, but still comes out on top. Toronto should be able to clean that up. I think we'll escape with 57 HP. Boaster, meanwhile, has managed to lurk his way through kitchen. Might find a backstab here.
Oh, just a valiant attempt. Yep, well considered by Oxygen. And good shutdown. Toronto there.
Whoa.
Happy to close out, and that's comfy. That was a bit of a buy-up from FNATIC too.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm okay with the buy-up. If you're going to lean heavily on this post plant, as long as you've got, Mystic with both Snake Bites, Magnum with both Nano Swarms, going towards B, you know that it's probably going to be one person holding onto that site. If you can get in, get a clean plant, reset, actually, the weapons don't become too much of an issue, right? You can run down the clock in that post plant scenario, but again, trying to explore mid a little bit. I'm not sure if there was a bit of split focus there. If you're going to invest, I'd like to see them go all in on getting that plant.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, looking at this, FNATIC coming back in with Sheriff's galore, and it is that A-lane. No real consideration or players left to watch too much of the flank. Killjoy's turret going to be put to that test. And for now, Toronto with the shoulder peek. He's going to get all the info he needs. That's a good enough display, and Glove going to confirm that. All right, boys, here they come. Get ready. Plenty of sheriffs in our direction. Oof, bit of chunky damage coming out. Mitez going to be not happy. Neither's Boaster, I'm sure, but Toronto going to make it look so simple. Good work there. Let's see if any threats now begin. This is where it gets a bit dicey. Darker did find Toronto, but look at this damage coming in. This is why I love a bit of Reyna on this map. Those angles, it works so well. And they lose one, that's fine. And they stabilize. No plants coming in, nothing of the such. This is very good work from Oxygen, keeping FNATIC arm's length.
And that's it. I kind of criticize them for it on Haven, but right here, I mean, with the Viper Wall in particular, look towards Mitez and Toronto to kind of dip their toes in front of that wall, right? They have the ability to reposition. They can go in, even if it's information. In this scenario, they both find kills, but look for them to be the ones to be the aggressors. FNATIC creep up behind what they assume is that kind of blanket of safety, so to say, with the Viper Wall.
Now, Op's already out for Toronto. This is quite the early Op to come down. And look how aggressively he's posted up here. A little further ahead, so he's going to be holding a deeper line of sight. Now, this is good information. That Reyna could definitely lean away. As soon as they get contact towards B, they could easily peel away from that. They've got a little bit of a, not very aggressive lean towards middle, but a very attentive hold towards middle. Now, at this point, FNATIC going for that straight-up burst towards B. Everyone's all in on this. A little bit of a dip through the wall. And that Viper's going to back away for now. Durka going to take some space.
Get the wall down. Actually, yeah, going to block off the utility pretty well, actually. So not too much damage coming to Doma. Glove actually is a second shock dart there, but they will get a comfortable plant. Nano swarms be popped down. Let's see how Oxygen approach this retake.
I mean, Killjoy, Viper, it's a dirty combination. And then throw in the fact you're still with Durka. Toronto, though, with the first step in on the little bit of necessarily, not actually an over peak, but there you go. There's the answer right back in. Magnum Durka. Toronto, though, up on the top, still trying to do the damage he can, but it's just Toronto now. And the slow flank coming in as well. He's got to check on Boaster. You surely don't expect it. Boaster is just nasty with it. He doesn't need to do anything as well. Mystic's utility does it all.
Really good stuff. And again, just as we're seeing it more and more often now where obviously the Sage Wall goes behind the Viper Wall, but even just a slight adjustment there, re-angling it, it kind of catches Oxygen off guard, right? All their utility is relying on it being a default plant spot and moving it by, what, 2 or 3 meters?
Yep, 3.
It kind of just, again, it's damage control, right? It negates as much as possible from Oxygen preventing that plant from going down, because you saw the snake bite and the shock darts both get caught out by that wall.
Durka, ready to go. Only a sheriff, so trying to keep that economy building in the right way. Gonna lean on the ultimate to be the way forward, not a bad choice. And FNATIC, look, we saw it in the previous map. They'll find a way that they want to approach it, that they want to operate, and they'll continue to pressure that issue. It looks like B is the center of their focus for now. But Mitez this time has found a bit of room to work with, actually pressuring a little deeper down towards middle.
Way more proactive on defense.
Yeah, I like this. I like the proactive play. Now, we do have Killjoy's ult invested towards this, so this could become a problem. Distal going to have to make the most of his life while he can. Can't do much with it. Durka's going to get... Oh, not bad, Durka. That is not bad. We'll take that every day of the week. And now here comes the rest of the aggression. Turco's around on the flank, and FNATIC, with that slower creep towards the site, actually could now be in trouble, but they know what's coming their way. Mitez needs to use Reyna to her capabilities to try and find a way forward. Does so well, but the trade comes out for Doma. Turco's still there. Rez comes in, Mystic back up, but it's Doma to deny, and now Toronto has to do the magic here. This is a huge issue if you don't land the first, and now look at him being overwhelmed. They've closed the gap. It's not what you want with the okay, that's exactly what he wants with the op, apparently. But how do you get past this utility? Touches it again. Hopes for the best. The shot goes astray.
He read it perfectly.
I can't fault him for how he played that. That was an incredible attempt.
But, I mean, let's look at some other things from that round, Lauren. Straight away there, they with this information, they've acted upon it. They've been proactive. They sent through, and again, we talked about it in the pre-show, regionally, right? Having a good understanding of this kind of post-plant emphasis. Look at this. The flank from Turco and, Mitez, right? Both of them come through at a perfect time, right? They find a couple of kills. Unfortunately, actually, Doma comes out. He tries to bait the res and full swings on it. Right there, it puts the man advantage back in favor of FNATIC. So, actually, just straight away, I'm seeing Oxygen kind of addressed the things that concern me the most on Haven.
Oh no. Oh, Magnum.
Brutal.
That's rough, isn't it? Toronto thought he had a freebie. Nothing free about it. Now the money's of course dwindled since then. Turco's still got himself a rifle, but beyond that, Sheriff's coming out to play. Now, keep in mind, Turco's around, the potential danger's a little higher. The rest, it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Yes, they've got ultimates, but do you really want to use them here? Love nice connection towards Magnum, but again, trades effective for FNATIC, and Sight Control now fully garnered.
The glove has the Hunter's Fury here. If he can't make use of it, actually going to send out a recon note. Try and creep through. We'll spot one player. Actually, he doesn't land anything. Durka at range, the Vandal. Put him down. Turco does have a Vandal. Expect him to maybe consider saving this one. So we're going to send some Sheriff shots into the Viper's pit. Damage done though, and now Turco on site. Durka will clean that up handily, and 3 survive from FNATIC. Damage done though, again, look towards Oxygen to kind of stop some of the momentum in terms of the economy getting rolling for FNATIC here, but looking very comfortable. And on the side of Oxygen, much left in the kitty after Meters is going to buy up here. Toronto back onto the operator.
Late switch up here, heading over towards B, maybe just saying, well look, this is their site hit, this is what we've been seeing consistently. Different look, a little bit more postured up here. Look at the rest of Oxygen, they're not backing away, going to be forced off the line a touch.
Just quickly as well, Durka faking that updraft in the early round. They're trying to figure out where Toronto's playing with the operator. They're literally trying to bait that shot in the first 5 seconds. Whether or not we'll see them adjust off the back of that, but that's a small thing. There's that one ability usage, gives FNATIC the tools to say, actually, yeah, we're going to hit it. I mean, Toronto's still here. He hasn't shown his hand just yet, but it's small things like that. FNATIC just setting themselves up for success.
See what he can do though. Now he's gone slightly unchecked on. Yeah, that's what he can do. That's scary. Okay, Toronto's a danger man. 30 HP though, gonna be forced to... Oh, he's gonna have to try and get away. Okay. Tried to bait them in, but they didn't really fall for it. Still using that utility to clear as best they can. Boaster gonna peek out from the utility, and there's just a wall of rifles waiting for them. Yes, Dirk is there. That late lurk through middles looked good, but he's going to need to ace this one out. Not going to happen. And the op gets recovered, filtered back on through. 3 survive, and a great hold. I mean, this is where you're going to need to see that next level now coming in, potentially from FNATIC, if they want to keep continuing to run that site take.
In here, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to catch Oxygen off guard, but not waiting out kind of the downtime in Viper's utility, it just goes to show there. I mean, they have to hop out and vision's obscured. They have to then react to it, but it's kind of discombobulated in terms of the timing of those peaks. It was all 3 separately. Again, yep, there you go. That's it. The updraft. Trying to find that shot from Toronto. Now they're going to react off that. Going to go drift away from B lane. I love that. Just that small ability usage there. FNATIC will drift off. And for good measure, he spotted with the drone.
Just making sure. Now there's about a minute 10 on the board here. Oh, yes, information's been garnered. Durka starts to show a little leg towards middle. Now, it's not without answer though. A touch of damage comes through. Actually catching 2 of them. Doma and Durka, the D&D combo. Gonna receive a little bit of flack, and he's not alone. Mitters now catching Magnum's a problem. That's gonna at least isolate a little bit of this hit. Shows the intention now coming down. Now, yes, the spike's there. Viper's still coming over as well. So this is looking like that 8 piece, but now with the rotations, let's see if they're ready for it. Toronto's found Doma, but let's look towards Durka. Look at this guy's aim. It's insane. And now we're down to the final few. It's the 2v2. The spike is still on Viper. That's gonna be with Mystic here. And Oxygen aren't far away. 35 seconds to play with.
Just trying to hold tight for the time being. Turco actually going to get the res back in, so man advantage for Oxygen here. They have the Hunter's Fury and the Viper's Pit, but again, situationally not a great tool. FNATIC actually going to get spotted out. Were they both spotted with that?
Sure. I mean, Got Mystic dead, and now Durka looks, red like a book. This is sketchy now. Durka's gonna have to do some huge work. He doesn't get it. Beautiful retake. Oxygen. I'm liking this team on this map. This is looking much nicer.
Indeed. I mean, I got to say as well, Toronto having way more impact this time around. Not just numbers-wise. Yes, he's at 12 and 6, but it's this stopping FNATIC setting up so comfortably in the early round, which I talked about so many times on Haven. See, FNATIC have to address it, and they have to reconsider their approach. I mean, it just goes to show, it comes back to that discussion, right? Oh, jet bottom fragging, but actually in terms of impact and how you're altering your opponent's way of thinking or what they're trying to set up, it's huge.
Okay. I mean, I just want to see how FNATIC get around this. They're losing bodies constantly. If it's put Durka on the ult and see if he can find that fight on Toronto, because Toronto's getting picks. He is getting pick after pick now. This is going to be a big explosion towards A. This is an all-in sight piece, which, if the pressure's not going to be well constructed enough, will play very nicely for a Reyna and for an Oppa, right? So this is going to be the big test. Mitters now knows there are players coming in now. Actually, combine that with an ultimate from Glove as well. They're going to push this Mitters once in. Toronto's found one, but too many targets for Mitters to handle. But there's Durka. That's incredible work from Durka. He still wants more. He catches a leg shot. He has to fall away. But the deeper smokes come out. Toronto's vision gets neutered. He can't do the same as before. And this is great stuff from FNATIC. A perfect answer. But you can see he still wants in. Durka gets himself a little bit of a deeper angle. Zistar's trying to slip through the net here, but they're going to be aware of this spot real soon.
We call the barrel. Stu will find one. Doma will fall now, but still 3 members to deal with.
No!
Actually, Toronto finally.
It's a 2v2. Look how many ults have been invested in towards this. This is a huge investment from FNATIC. Now Toronto can answer right on back in, but he can't find the shot. It goes astray. And Mystic does not miss. Brilliant work, but what a costly round for both sides. FNATIC had to use so much of what they had there. They've got themselves ready, but then on the other side, same we said, Glove using their ult. Toronto coming in. This is a very, very expensive round for both sides.
A huge round from Durka, like I said there. The fact that he's still happy to go forward and find more space, even after the first 2 kills, shows what this guy's capable of. And really, I mean, we're talking about Toronto coming online with the operator. It's huge for Oxygen, but FNATIC don't have an awful lot of tools to shut that down. They have Sova, but they're basically boasters to spy out where he is, and Durka to close that distance. They don't have any flashes to get him off these angles.
Mortez. Oh. 2, 3 players already tucked around that deeper angle.
Toronto.
Nothing to be done. Durka is doing whatever he can. It is literally mark your man right now. It's Toronto up against Durka, and they're both just dealing damage, man. Finally, Toronto's been put down, so it is a 3v2. Ultimate now popped. Coming on through. Should be a safe spike plant.
Who actually managed to get his way behind us here?
This ain't bad.
Give away a couple of sound cues here. Oh, nearly actually got it. No way!
What? No, Durka! Thought he could just tuck his head right back on down. No, you can't. Oh my god, that was a second away from just absolutely beheading him. And now Turco left in the 1v2. He knows where one is. He couldn't note the second. Boaster gets away with his life and the round. This is a brilliant game between these two. I am loving this battle going down. I mean, yeah, we can look at Durka and Toronto, but even beyond that.
Dude, I'm sorry. The balls for Toronto to sit there in front of the Aldo and still take that first blood. And then look at him. Smokes himself off, 40 HP, comes through and finds another 2 kills to try and bail Glove out of that position. It's things like that. I talked about unorthodox. It's things like that you just cannot anticipate. And those are things that, you know, we don't have a lot of players in Europe that will do things like that.
Wait, this is all in pieces, man. Look at these leans from FNATIC. This is just... We saw it on the last map to an extent, but this is almost just bull-headed. And lucky to save life, you can see the pixel just fly across. He now knows the Durka's here, and again, the battle continues between these two. Glove there, though. Playing ahead of this, man. These guys are having to elevate their play so high here.
But again, it's Oxygen's willingness to dip their toes before FNATIC even get to the site. And time again, they're finding a kill or a trade, and that's huge for the defending
Super
team.
disruptive. Yeah. It's super disruptive to what FNATIC wants to do. I mean, in other look, and here's that flank. We hadn't seen this too much, but now it will be Mystic on the case. Good control from Mystic to keep that in mind.
He's chilling for the snake bites, man. He's chilling.
He's fine. He can do his job from a couple of spots, so he's alright. But Turco's still here. Now, so close. It's ridiculous. Okay, Spike Plant comes in. Can't actually reveal Boaster in time, so he gets away scot-free and even finds one as well. Turco's going to lose his life for this. Now, Toronto, big question in front of you. Do you risk it for the biscuit? You got the op. Do you really want to go for this? Looking if there is that gateway, if anyone overextends, but FNATIC still have such good composure. Glove. Oh, he has no idea. The beheading. Dome is going to find Glove. And Toronto now can't get away. Too committed. And a very costly round for Oxygen and a good one on the board for FNATIC.
Yeah, good play from Boaster there. Again, he's the one planting, and two players actually, the two players with rifles actually for Oxygen, the ones spamming away the wall. Boaster knows that he's got a good peek onto Heaven there on the reload. The timing of the walls kind of actually played against Oxygen. The fact that they tried to break it gives Boaster that opening. And obviously with Toronto on the operator, he's not holding that angle, so no chance of that being traded.
And the money now. Swing a roundabout. It's going to be a little weaker for Oxygen. They can fashion a buy, but it's Bulldogs. It's not pretty. Durka's in trouble, but does he get out of it? Of course he does. It's Durka. How can you... How does he get away with that? You tell me. Analyst.
Durka's like the perfect counter to Oxygen.
Yeah, he really is. It's actually mad to see it. Now, Bosa's done well to find Gloves, so just going to chip away at them here. There's Toronto gone. This is good work from Bosa. Even finding that kill there kind of eliminates the big threat that could have happened. And now Mitez, it's gone. It's done, so put a fork in it. This one's done. See what you got. Anything left in the tank.
You know, two members really tagged up on the side of FNATIC, so very difficult with the Bulldog. We'll find the headshot, but Doma in place to make the trade. And a very good half from FNATIC. Obviously, but actually, Oxygen really impressed me here. Again, just this pace change for them has looked much, much better. And the things that were massively concerned, Durka landing that, I just actually noticed the first tag was a headshot there. So the top of the box, that's heartbreaking position because he sets off with a snake bite onto the top of the crate there. He's anticipating Durka playing that spot. And even with the vulnerability, Durka's just like, yeah, I'm still going to challenge. I'm still going to ego chow you on the top of the box.
I mean, it's bold, right? Like, if you're feeling yourself, I guess you got to go with it, but scares the life out of me. I mean, looking at this, I'm checking to see if we have any raid bosses made. Doma, Ghost and Light Armor, but no armor on Durka, so it's not going to be the, Yampy style frenzy with the armor. And a Sheriff come out for Toronto. That's interesting as a choice. And Oxygen actually kind of playing a little bit more standard. You got a 3-play lean towards A, 2 slow working towards B long. Okay. Durka waiting on aggression. Oh my word, he's so snappy today.
I was going to say, if he gets that second one, it just... Toronto, luckily, lands the headshot with the Sheriff there. This dude now, all this information on B, and looks as if Doma's got some sort of idea, or at least playing passively enough here to catch this information. As soon as the wall goes up, both are going to hit that rotation now. Got to consider the possibility, and actually a little gap in the wall there. Doma will take one tag, and as soon as they show their face, that's it. FNATIC now on the rotate.
Not completely. They're hesitant to leave. You can see Mystic still hovering around towards A. Because all they've seen so far is this Viper, really, I guess. That's it. 30 seconds, though. Oxygen are going to need to commit to this now. Here's that next wave of utility, though, that makes it a bit trickier. Deeper wall now responded with. Gonna have to look for a slightly unorthodox plant on this one. And Doma can't quite find the shot. How's that happened? It looks so spot on. Mazisto's found Boaster, and now we're down to 3. Magnum, Mystic, and Doma.
And they've actually got a really good opportunity. A little gap in the wall. Ducko going to find Doma, Glove to Magnum. quickly shut that out. A really, really well considered pistol round from Oxygen there. And again, it's the variation to the utility. Kind of a safety net. Drifting away from those default plants, and this really is the big test for me, is how well Oxygen can kind of put together these attacks, and whether or not they lean very heavily on this utility in the post plant. Because I mean, Toronto's on one of those pop-off games, right? And they teams from this region talking about how they like to be unorthodox and just, you know, go with the flow, which is the most terrifying thing to an EU team.
Oh, 100%. I mean, imagine if we threw Mitters into that conversation. Let's say he had more of a map 1 performance here. That duo would be terrifying. It's not quite happened, but let's see what Toronto does this time around. First contact made, and yeah, sadly for Mitters, loses out, but there's a trade for Toronto. Magnum gets him, so they know there's more, of course, as Jet's gonna try and get away. Information received, but they look unfazed by this.
Back up a little bit. Respect the damage trade-off in the early round at least. Mystic's got himself into a dirty spot. Whether or not Zistu's disciplined enough to hard clear everything here. Oh. I mean, he was, but he still loses out on it.
Oh no. This could buy him a little bit of time. Not enough, really. Okay, so there's 2 on the flank, 1 coming through more by default. Dom is there. Toronto's found Boaster. Good work from Toronto again, keeping minimal threats. Doma's just going to try and deny plant, buy a bit of time. Turco's on the case. And now Durka in the 1v2. Toronto's up, Turco's there. Spike now down. Durka looking for a way in. Already though, tagged up, put down. No danger in the end. Oxygen, keep this one safe. It got a little dicey.
Good damage.
They hit their rotation. Exactly. If you want to look at benefits here, yes, there was good damage done towards them. So, you know, as I said, FNATIC can't be too mad, but Oxygen happy with the round win. We're tied all even now. We're right back on the board.
Mystic, unfortunately, I mean, if he has a snake bite here, he has a really good opportunity, even with a classic, to maybe get another kill. He's done the work. Like I said, really the big objective there is to stop Oxygen building any momentum with this economy. And Bulldog, Spectre, Marshall, Sheriff coming in. This one's going to be a difficult one, really, versus the full buy of FNATIC. Durka, though, from the top rope, going to find Toronto right off the bat.
These angles are so filthy as well. He's able to back away, takes no damage for it either. High risk play coming out, considering he's on the 4x, and they're up against, you know, kind of bits and pieces here. So that could have been a rifle recovered, but I mean, I guess you can bank on Durka, right? Now, looking at this, he's already going to be postured up for this, not, you know, worried about backing away. He's got some support as well on the cross. He's got Doma by his side, a little deeper position on the site. And now we wait for the hit to come through.
And hop up and find that angle. Mita's considering the possibility of a flank coming through, but look at Magnum's position. He's got all this information. Doesn't even need to peek out. He's going to catch this so early on. There you go. Does he actually opt to go for a kill? No, he doesn't. He's going to reset here.
Enemy down.
Poster towards Mitters, 35 seconds. Very limited site progress made, and of course you can see the problem now becomes that FNATIC have taken over that space, and that's a shutdown. Brilliant round. Very, very clean. Exactly what FNATIC would have wanted.
There's a couple of investments on the side of Oxygen, but no, obviously the rifle's going to come back out for them now. Now, this is the round you look towards whether or not Toronto does go back to the operator, right? Again, talked about on Haven, much harder to find that value. Again, once you take Jet away from kind of that front line for any team, it's a huge investment to not find kind of a first blood or an opening, and actually going to be him purchasing the operator here, so he's got to be the one to put something up.
And again, look at the difference. Durka, happy to be on the rifle, taking over B-long control. This is something that statistically those heat maps had showed in that article, that he's more, I guess, varied in this regard, whereas Toronto is a bit more of an A specialist. You'll see him on both sides, heavier leaning this way. Toronto trying to take as much space, kind of clear some of these angles. Turco somewhat similar as well. And Magnum waits on the other side, has to deal with the utility thrown out There's a good little fadeaway. Lovely shot there. Mittez loses his life. And now, Rez comes in, actually wanting him back up. Zistao going to find Boaster. But that's not the man they first tussle with. Mystic is still here. He is still around. He's hovering on this Magnum too. It's that next step that's going to be tricky for Oxygen.
Magnum again. Toronto will fall. Another kill. The wall going to go up actually pretty deep here. And Oxygen scrambling to find any sort of control here. Mystic lines him up. A quick 4-piece for him, and like I said, Oxygen's just kind of bouncing back and forth on the side. A bit of hesitation, to be honest.
Well, I thought that was going to go completely the other way around, that because of that wall, you're going to see FNATIC a little bit more funneled towards one side, go for the peaks, maybe get punished, but no. Perfect read coming out from Mystic. That's lovely work from him. Wow, 9-7 now. Oxygen, I'm hoping they don't kind of trip themselves because this is probably double digits here. Like, look at this. We've got the op now for Durka, right? That comes across. Let's see how this looks. Oh, this absolute big boy face. They're looking to find Durka potentially. If he was going to have that op there, but the switch up, he's going to be towards A this time. Ultimate invested, no messing around. Why not try and keep this safe if you're feeling pressure?
Well, it's so difficult for Oxygen to put together an attack, a comfortable attack at least here. Still seem happy to try and explore it. Zisto actually going to drop on top of the wall. Desperately hunting for either Doma or Mystic inside.
This is dicey because they're trying to play back towards middle, Hypok. They're like leaning back in, right? They took that B-long fight initially, stopped by the ultimate. Now they lean away from it, but now they've lost a bit of control elsewhere. Magnum on the punish to find Mittez as soon as they look towards A. And now you can see Durka kind of funneled around. He can't find any success on this right now. He's 5 HP. He's got to be careful. And look at Oxygen. There's no opportunities presenting here. And look at the damage coming through. Toronto just taking chunks just to try and find a chance at it.
Is it Mystic? Mystic!
You're nasty, Mystic. You're absolutely nasty.
The readjust was perfect onto the top of the crate there. Glove now, 43 HP. I'll try and find some more damage, but
Oh,
Mystic on the prowl.
Look at him. He's like Jaws, just lurking around in the depths. That's just unreal work. 10 seconds remaining. Turco, yes, he's got himself a rifle now, but it's a 1v4. He's going to make another go of this. Boaster goes down. He's making it costly, but no way does it happen with Mystic there. He is having a game. We've already seen it. We've seen so many different members now from FNATIC having moments. This is a team that's scary, right? Like, keep in mind, Magnum had some brilliance in the last few, and he's not even breaking really towards double digits. It's just here and there, but this was lovely from Turco, but all credit in my mind goes towards Mystic. That ultimate invested just hindered them completely, and it was the perfect use.
It really was, and I mean, look at the finances for FNATIC now. Again, we talk about getting to double digits. This is where it just becomes so difficult for Oxygen, because there's nothing left in the bank. They have to win these rounds clean, and with Durka getting the operator rolling now,
he's feeling himself,
it's going to become
dude.
so difficult.
That's and this is something we don't often talk about, but when players are feeling confident, they take fights like this, and again, he doubles down. Make it 3. Go on, there it is. Durka is just putting on a show, man. This is the player we wanted to see, and we get it all. Durka just doing them every single time. There's nothing that they win against him. He's got his ultimate. He don't need it. He's just absolutely feeling himself. He's got those hot hands, right? And I don't mean as in, you know, the other agent. I mean that when everything lines up, right? This is it. It's such a weird thing to try and explain. And it feels like such a light theory, but even then, he didn't get baited on the shoulder peek. He waited for the second dip on it. He's just reading the game perfectly. He's in that, you know, Neo in the Matrix, right? It's just all looking so clear to him now. 11-7, Oxygen need to dig deep, but the economy's been ripped away. Hypok, I don't know where they go here.
This is really, really difficult. They've got a couple of ultimates to play with, so, you know, with this lesser weaponry, potentially could get something going. But, I mean, the Empress virtually useless in this scenario without a weapon to back it up. Viper Spit and the Hunter's Fury, yes, potentially if they can find an opening pick with that, get the Viper's Pit down in a post plant, but this is tough. They've got to stop this momentum for FNATIC. And FNATIC basically have 3 rounds in hand in terms of the money they have.
Good luck, boys. look at that utility just littered across the floor. You're gonna have Viper, you got Killjoy, it's just chunky. X marks the spot towards A. Mystic waiting on the other side. Gonna just start pumping DPS, spray through, gonna do little bits of damage here and there. But for now, you can see Mitez just suffering through this. They're gonna be just the walking wounded by the time they get towards the site. Magnum's still on patrol, finds Mitez, and now the next three try and make their go of it, and it goes about as well as expected. Magnum just gets it out. Toronto now 1v3. Was a 4. 30 HP. And a dream at this point.
Of course, Toronto actually bakes out first with a shoulder peek. Try and close this kill out, and again, anything he gets done is a bonus here, but this is FNATIC going the match point. 30 HP. I mean, don't expect FNATIC to give away sloppy 1v1s in this scenario. They are playing so disciplined today.
Yep. This is lights out. Toronto. You gotta try it, right?
Yeah, fair play.
Fair play to the lad. This is a better looking FNATIC than I've seen in a while. I think we've now seen
one of the
once
best.
Again.
I would go as far as saying one of the best.
Yes. This is a great look from FNATIC coming in here, certainly sending a message. They are now, I'd say, the full package, right? As said, they've kind of become the theory-crafted team we were waiting to see that goes beyond just needing those quirky plays. They now have these incredible players that can make up the difference. But we have a full buy for Oxygen in the final shot of things here for them, at least within this series, and they've got to get it done. For now, though, we see Durka there, we see Toronto, we see the classic fight now to begin. Durka not afraid, still gonna go further forward, tries to get cheeky with it, doesn't get it though, has to back away, fall towards the site. But this is still a default, this isn't all in from Oxygen. There's 3 players towards A and 2 lingering around the back lines towards B.
Mystic didn't actually catch it with that jump spot, so he is going to back away. Hunter's Fury invested from Boaster. Does get one tag. He can't close out the kill, though Turco will survive. And be able to heal himself up as well. Mitez actually swing onto Durka. Man advantage early on goes to Oxygen now. FNATIC can stabilize here. Noma will find one. He has the res available as well, but it's a tricky position for him to get that.
Look at this. Now they're going to notice something's wrong here. They've got to know that there's a problem, and Mystic's going to be... Yeah, now he's fully aware that something's coming his way. Now, what does he do with this? Does he just buy time? Exactly. It's going to be... Time gets bought instantly. 35 seconds on the board. That's all that's left. This is a late rotation from them. Rez now comes out safely. Dirk is back up. A little bit of a tag, and Mystic's just being annoying. They can chill on this, but that's the Rez invested. So this should be a safe plant here. Looking at this one, I don't see anything that could deny it. No. So for now, Oxygen do have a spike plant in a 4v5.
But Lockdown invested and going to force them pretty much out of Viper's bit. Toronto going to find Magnum in mid. Lockdown does get destroyed. Durka on the rampage. So he's going to find a second kill.
He's not stopping. That's 2. Toronto needs to come alive for his side right now, and this is just a shutdown. It's a show from Durka, and FNATIC have made all the right moves. This has been an absolute display of dominance from FNATIC.
Yeah, and I got to say, I mean, a 13-7 scoreline, that doesn't actually reflect how dominant FNATIC were. So take nothing away from Oxygen at all. They put up a hell of a fight. That was very one-sided, and they still kept it 13-7 scoreline. We've seen other teams get completely rolled, FNATIC being one of them on Icebox, when you see a performance like that. But Durka, wow. That,
yeah, different.
I mean, you can't even say jet diff, man, because Toronto was putting up numbers.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. This is why it was such a talking point at the start of the show, because those two are just such an interesting read. But I think Durka got the better in that time, but who knows going further forward how this is going to look. But you guys at home, we ask you, we pose you the question, who's your player of the match? Who stood out to you the most? If it ain't Durka, you're wrong.
What game were you watching
So,
if it wasn't Durka?
There you go. There is your vote. There is one option. Yes, you can vote for the others, but you have one option to be made. But outside of that, Hypoc, any last thoughts before we head straight through to a break here?
No, other than the fact that, FNATIC with this pace change here and seeing how quick they were to explode, I think it's something they could take away and potentially, bring back to their own, I guess the familiar faces that we usually see them face off against. Because it's something I've wanted to see for a while, is now that they've got this roster change, they can kind of lean on a few players that pop off and not have this kind of choreographed, structured reliance, so to say.
Well, with that said and done, we're going to head to a short break, but do not fear, Turkish fans out there, the big boys are coming up next. They'll be locked in soon, but before we get there, we'll be joined back at the desk after this break.